fired up, focused, and prepared for you. Absolutely stacked, jacked, packed, to the wall, excited about what's coming. I don't know if, it's schedule night. It is schedule night, and the feeling's right. And I got to turn everything on in here. Schedule night, the feeling's right, Matt. Are you fired up right now? Let's talk about this, because we sort of internally have a look at the schedule. So let's just kind of talk about, first of all, y'all's level of excitement for this schedule drop. Matt, I'll start with you. What's your level of excitement? And then you, Bry. Hang on a second here. All right, go ahead. Give me your level of excitement. Matt Dixon, T to the G to the M to the D. Go ahead, man.
Les Miles Show Management. I don't know if exciting is the right word. I'm just really intrigued and to see what Tennessee's schedule is going to be for next year. And really just everybody's schedule. There'll be a few teams that they have a schedule that's kind of generous, and then the vast majority of teams, I assume, are going to be just kind of a gauntlet. But it's fun. It's a fun thing to talk about and see, even though it's kind of right in the middle of this season. But no, it's a lot of intrigue.
Brian Hartman, where are you on this 1 to 10 scale in terms of seeing tonight? And in my humble opinion, this is just my humble opinion, the SEC has needed a fresh coat of paint with these schedules now for a long, long time. So, Bri, where are you on it?
Yeah, I think we're going to start to see matchups that we need to see more often, but weren't able to see them because of some archaic way when you had everybody split into divisions and all that kind of prevented this from happening. So it's one good byproduct of conference expansion is they've changed the scheduling format. I'm more like, man, I'm not really, I don't know if excited is the right word, but I'm kind of interested. I'm sort of saving the excitement for Saturday, but yeah, I want to see just who they get. I have a pretty good idea, but we'll know for sure tonight.
It's pretty incredible, man. This is kind of a way to go here. This is a lot of fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very interesting to see how this thing shakes out tonight. John Adams, you presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. The SEC is getting a fresh coat of paint with these schedules. I think it's good, man. I think it's real good.
Yeah. You are audible now? Yeah, it's not. It's good, and it should have happened 2 years ago.
Yep.
This should have all been worked out. They should have gone to 9 games as soon as they added Oklahoma and Texas. They're trying to finagle and get more teams in the playoff and all that kind of good stuff. It actually ended up working against it. I think what will happen now, it's clearly gotten an assurance that there will be a strong emphasis on strength of schedule and evaluating these teams. And I think what you're going to see is SEC teams with 9-3 records getting in the playoffs. I think you'll see maybe more than one because everybody's strength of schedule is going to be greater playing 9 conference games. I really didn't, this interim schedule, it just wasn't balanced enough. The disparity between Oklahoma's schedule and Tennessee's this year was ridiculous for two teams being in the same conference. And maybe Oklahoma will get lucky and win 9 games and make the playoff, but I doubted it. The schedule is just too much. So I'm looking forward to this. I think we'll have a better league. My preference would be to go to a 10-game SEC schedule, play one patsy in the opener that you're going to win. You can work the kinks out, see what you got, play a good non-conference opponent, and then play 10 SEC games. The more SEC games, the better the league is.
Hey, Matt, the truth is that the UAB game, those are of value because you get kids in there and people can flip their tickets to people that can go for the first time. And But man, those things as time has gone on have almost taken on an NFL preseason football quality. That's the way those games feel now, Matt. Now that it's a money sport, I mean, there was no comparison between Tennessee and UAB the other day. Athlete to athlete, it's almost like watching a scrimmage or something. I don't know. I guess different strokes for different folks, Matt, but that's where I'm at right now when I think about those games.
Yeah, I don't know how many players on UAB's team Tennessee would even like see the field at Tennessee. Maybe 4 or 5 at most. But they served their purpose. We can argue about whether that purpose is useful anymore or not. But it was a scrimmage for Tennessee, which you kind of need those. Maybe the one in November you might need more than this one, but. They're not. I mean, they're just non-competitive games.
You go from the atmosphere, the anticipation, the drama of Tennessee versus Georgia,
and go to that,
and then go to playing UAB where people don't stick around. It's just not worth it. It doesn't hold your interest. What's the point? How many players for UAB could play for Tennessee? Not many, but I would take that quarterback as Joey Aguilar's backup.
Yeah, he's all right. I agree with that.
I wonder, it's going to cut down on games you can actually develop depth in and try to get as many kids in there playing as you can.
That's a good point
for the on-field growth. So there's sort of a drawback to it.
But that's a still the price you pay for. I mean, the ETSU and UAB games. That wasn't like watching a real game. Tony said it best. It's like watching it go out and asking 100,000 people to come out and watch a scrimmage.
That's what it was, and that's what it feels like. And look, all these games are precious. Every Saturday you get together with your fan base. Easy for me to say, it's precious. Now tonight, we're going to be live with you tonight on the one, the only. And we're going to break it down scientifically on here as a radio family as the schedule reveal occurs. I do think I have what is the schedule. They have not released the schedules to the schools. My understanding is that Tennessee's freaked out by Chris Lowe's, not Tennessee. The Southeastern Conference is freaked out by Chris Lowe jumping out there and putting that out yesterday. And they initially, I believe, were going to release the stuff either last night to the league members. The ADs have a pretty good idea of what these schedules are because they go back and forth on them. You know, there's like they negotiate. And John, you can imagine the fighting and the backfighting and the infighting and the fighting that goes on behind the scenes. But this thing tonight is going to be really fun. It is the league's needed a fresh coat of paint with their scheduling, and they've needed to do this. They've needed to go to 9 games for a while. Let's come back. I want to when we come, we're going to preview Mississippi State when we continue. Landon Tucker is going to join us from My Dogs Pod, Landon Tucker. John, do you see this as a garden variety kind of walk in the park SEC game for the Vols, or do you see this as a real football game that we could see Saturday?
Well,
where are you?
Compared to what we saw last week, it's the Super Bowl.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, it's Mississippi State's competitive. I saw a line. The last line I saw was a 7.5 point spread.
Yes.
And it opened at 10.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched Mississippi State in 2 of its games.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some offensive talent.
Hell yes.
And I like its offensive line, just from what I've seen of it. And Arizona State, Northern Illinois, of course, it's hard to tell how good they are.
Yeah.
I don't think Mississippi State can slow down Tennessee's offense.
And that's the point. Matt, we should be able to run all over them the way Arizona State did. And then conversely, Mississippi State will make plays on us. That's my expectation in this game.
Yeah, they should have trouble stopping Tennessee's offense. It's not like Arizona State went up and down the field on them. I think they barely got to 20. Obviously Mississippi State hadn't played the Murderers Row schedule. That Arizona State game being the only kind of premier game, but they have some sneaky good defensive numbers through 4 games. Obviously, those will be put to the test this weekend. But yeah, it's a game Tennessee should win, but it's not some walkover, and it's your first real road game, and that's always you really kind of find out who your team is when you go on the road in the SEC. Tennessee's a home team; they have been for a number of years.
Yeah,
and there's a significant drop off when they go on the road. So you just got to hope that you can handle all that, and you just never know until each team faces that for the first time.
And I think Mississippi State, to John's point, has a very good quarterback. Now, we ranked him like 11 in the league last week, but that's not a slight at him. Generally, a guy that's 11 in the league, you kind of go, well, he can't play. This is like this is the deepest crop of quarterbacks I can remember in this conference. And here's the thing. They're coming in all shapes and sizes. I mean, this guy at Vanderbilt, y'all, can freaking play, John. This guy can play. I don't care whether you're a pro, not a pro, you're a schmo. I want college football quarterbacks. I'm sick of chasing these pros around. Hey, I was talking with a Penn State friend of mine the other day, the great Ken Miller, who might be listening to us. He says for some reason James Franklin gets guys like this Trace McSorley guy, and they go win the Big Ten championship with him. And since then, they've been chasing 5-star prizes that don't fit their offense. And I'm going, well, that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. And meanwhile, the Probella guy, he thinks was better for running their offense than the guy that's there. And he thinks they're going to pay the price for it this year when they start playing real games, because you have to have a quarterback that inevitably fits what you want to do. It's such an interesting thing at the top of this thing, John, to watch these guys continue to try to jam square pegs in the round holes.
Yeah, they can't resist the allure of a 5-star quarterback. And what's funny, too, is the NFL now, what we used to say, well, that's a prototypical NFL quarterback. Well, not anymore. I was watching, you look at Kyler Murray and all these guys, Baker Mayfield, all these guys in the NFL, they're dual threat guys. They're playmakers. Josh Allen can run, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, all these guys. So, but yeah, Penn State, the first time I saw Missouri this year, and I saw Bo, is it Prabula?
Prabula, yeah.
Prabula?
Nice player.
Oh.
He's not great, but he's a nice player.
No, I think he's more than a nice player. I think he's a big-time college quarterback. That guy, when he gets in the open field, there's some Jaden Daniels to it. He might take it to the house. The guy can run. And I've watched Drew Allar for a couple of years.
Great. Hey, say he's a good NFL prospect. Maybe he is.
I don't think he's a great NFL prospect.
Well, he just doesn't fit their offense. I mean, you don't know. With James Franklin's offense is so silly, which is why they can't beat people that matter. Hey, Matt, why do these coaches chase these shiny 5-star objects instead of going and getting – and it happens here, there, and everywhere, but why do they do that instead of going and getting people that fit their system? It's really strange.
I'm not sure. I just think it's so hard to evaluate quarterbacks now, especially with the whole 7-on-7. You have guys that just throwing, routes on air, basically, that it's hard to evaluate how a guy handles, the stuff that goes into playing quarterback in real games. And you're always going to side with the guy that's got the upside and the quote unquote arm talent, but it fools the great college coaches and great college quarterback coaches. They make the wrong decisions on quarterbacks across the country every year. It's a very strange thing.
I was listening. I really enjoyed listening to Watson Brown here on last week.
Yeah,
who's really a quarterback guru. Former coach, head coach at a lot of places where it's really hard to win, where he was really creative offensively, and he's really good with quarterbacks. And see, he was talking up Joey Aguilar before anybody else was, wasn't he, Tony?
Oh yeah, back in the summer.
Yeah.
He called his brother. His brother said, "Oh, he'll fit what Tennessee does like a glove." And then he called some other guys.
Yeah. Well, see, I just think that's what you should be looking for. But I think Bo Prabula at Penn State, they might be my favorite to win the national championship
If he's there.
he was there.
That's what my guy said. My guy said, I can't understand why they had a guy that fits what they want to do like a glove, but they've got this pro, and fans want to see. This is the truth now. Our fan base was energized by Nico. They are energized by this other kid, this 5-star kid. And we don't know if this Brandon guy, look, I hope the hell he can play, but none of us know. None of us know. And you know what? You don't know till they walk out on the field. And when I reveal next year's schedule to you here later on this hour, you tell me if you want to put a true freshman out there, because, John, you've seen it. You want to put a true freshman out there against that schedule, John?
No, I watch Michigan's Bryce Underwood against Oklahoma and Brent Venables' defense in Norman. No, I do not, because you're going to have meaningful early games, and that's why I keep coming back to this. I think you need to – I want an experienced quarterback. I want to get my quarterbacks out of the transfer portal.
Landon Tucker breaks it down on the other side after this. We talk Mississippi State. And then I'll do – I don't want to call it a schedule reveal. This is what I think the schedule is. If you go to the blog today, I got 7 of the teams. I'm going to give you all 9 of them. So we continue with more after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' values. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics. We offer receiving and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's move-in, Gouffon Moving and Storage.
Why limit great savings to just one weekend? This year, our Labor Day special lasts all month long. It's the September Smart Comfort event from Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month only, enjoy valuable home comfort upgrades at no extra cost when you install a new HVAC system or water heater to prepare your home for the colder months ahead. This September, you can get a free furnace upgrade with qualifying HVAC system installation or free sediment filter with water heater installation. Pipe Wrench is your partner for energy-efficient and cost-effective upgrades that keep your family comfortable and safe year-round. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. No rush, no stress, just smart seasonal savings for HVAC or water heater installations until the end of September. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. John Adams presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. Don't you dare buy or sell or trade a house without talking to the great Jennifer Morris. She's got you covered. She's unbelievable, Andy. And she had a great story about an interaction with Dr. Danny the other night, which I love. So shout out to her. I'm going to go to My Dog's Pod's Landon Tucker, who's back for another round with us here. We've had him on several times in the past. Landon, great SEC schedule reveal Tuesday to you. We were talking off the air. Were you expecting Mississippi State to have this start as you join us on our TLD Logistics phone line on this Tuesday?
You know, having Arizona State on the schedule is a little daunting after the season they had last season, certainly. But we said, look, if there's a best-case scenario, it's going 4-0 and somehow finding a way to beat Arizona State, despite the fact, you know, that they probably have more playmakers than Mississippi State has, especially with the job that Dillingham did with keeping some of those guys and Jordan Tyson out there at wide receiver. And so now, all of a sudden, you're coming into the point where, in some sense, it's kind of like playing with house money. Mississippi State won 2 games all of last season. And you're right. We talked about it off the air. They've already doubled that win total. So at this point, there's a lot of excitement just because the fan base has just gone through the dumps the past couple of seasons. And now there's a little bit of momentum. And in fact, as at this moment that we're talking, as of yesterday, there was a little bit over 1,000 seats left there in Starkville. And I would imagine just a few hundred at this point. So the tickets that are available taken up soon. And Tennessee, of course, travels very well. So I'd expect a sellout. I am sorry about all the cowbells for those who've never been to Davis Wade.
Yeah. What, like, I'm a kind of a musician guy. Not really. I don't know. I'm sort of a hack. But anyway, Sexy Lancey's our Davy Boy Bivens. I'm just kind of along for the ride. But when I go to Guitar Center, I ask, or any music store, because there's a kid over there in the corner with the amp turned up to like 1 million, okay? And I say, how in the hell do you do this? And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't hear that. So is it like that with you and the cowbells? Like, or being around that scene, when you're in the stadium, do you hear them, Landon?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in some sense, you kind of get used to it. And I'm from Starkville. I cover Mississippi State now, but since I was a kid, I've been kind of used to it. But when I introduced my wife, who's an Alabama graduate, to it, man, you can imagine a lot of headaches for those that are not used to it. But it really does create an advantage because of the fact, the Mississippi State Stadium, Davis Wade, only really holds about 61,000. Which is, fraction compared to what, the Tennessees and Alabamas and other teams like that. However, that cowbell really does start to echo when you're thinking 61,000 people with voices and cowbells.
Yeah.
And some people even have the crazy Darth Maul looking cowbell that has like a dual side, on both. If there's any advantage at all, Mississippi State is going to try to create it with having a crowd that is very rambunctious. That to be the case on Saturday.
Shout out Darth Maul, expecting a Darth Maul on a Tuesday. John, you covered Mississippi State for a few in your career. I'm a Bell thing just been. You hear it there after a while, or is it just something you don't hear?
It was so long ago when I was a columnist at the Jackson Clarion Ledger, late 70s. I don't remember ever being bothered by it. I've noticed now, I think people get into it more ringing the cow. I'm not saying Mississippi State football is any important than it was back then. I just think they get in the cowbell. So much has been made of it. I would think there's a lot of tendinitis amongst the Mississippi State fan base because you watch them. They're ringing it. They're really putting that elbow into it. And I saw it was the Arizona State game. And they were showing a crowd shot, and this woman, she was holding her kid in one hand, just about to drop it, and then she was moving her arm as if she were ringing a cowbell, but she didn't have a cowbell in her hand. She was just so caught up in the moment, she's just moving her arm.
The thing that's funny about that whole deal, Landon, is when I'm watching it on television, it kind of runs all over me. But I bet you don't even hear it. Like you guys that have been around it in the stadium, is it effective? Like I wonder, do you think it's effective on visiting teams?
I think it is.
I don't think there's a great way to really prepare for it. You can try to simulate it as best you can. And Thomas Hammock, who's the Northern Illinois head coach, I interviewed him in July. They just came to Mississippi State last week. And in July, he was saying, we're going to try all we can to simulate it, but with noise and amplifiers and speakers and all those things. But in the end, you really cannot dictate how it's going to be. And now for experienced quarterbacks, I think that they kind of find a way through it. And here's the deal. If you look at Mississippi State's home record of the past couple of years, it really hasn't been a factor in that sense. But now you kind of wonder, well, now that there's some momentum with the team, and there's some momentum with the fan base, will it make a difference when it comes to a big name team like Tennessee coming to town or Texas coming to town here in a couple of weeks?
Landon could probably speak to this since he's from Starkville, but I really think Mississippi State has an underrated fan base. Covering basketball games there, had some really next level hecklers, I thought. I can remember a game there where Tennessee was going through its warm-ups, and they had about 5 guys heckling them, standing off to the side there, and there was a security guard there, and he was just kind of smiling. So what do you think about that, Landon? Don't you think Mississippi State has really good fans?
They do. Well, it's kind of like whenever a team has been kind of pushed and let down, you kind of like, in some sense, it became, maybe the mid 2000s, almost the lovable losers. Like, man, like we can pick on us like you do with your brother, but you're not going to pick on us. And so State has done a really good job with their fan base of that. They really do kind of hunker down because it's everything to that community. Starkville's a very different town compared to several other bigger cities, like your Knoxville and Nashville and that kind of thing. And so people really do kind of band together, even whenever they are losing, to try their best to get any sort of advantage. And that's where the cowbell comes in. And that's where, as you mentioned, some of the heckling comes in.
Yeah.
They are certainly a community that sticks together.
How come the game wasn't already sold out, Landon? Is that from the 2-10 season of last year and people are just slow to come around? What do we attribute that to? That surprised me when you said about 1,000 or so tickets were left.
Yeah, I think it was very hard selling point coming off a 2-10 season. Mississippi State also upped the prices for season tickets, and so things got more expensive. And it's hard to make. I talked with one guy who's been a season ticket holder for the past 26 years, and he was saying it's really hard to justify driving down several hours and staying in a hotel and spending all this money just for them to lose. And he's done it obviously for a long time, but something about last season, some people just kind of threw in the towel. But I think you're going to see, based upon the response so far, that might be able to kind of turn a new leaf. But as you guys know, everything's much more expensive, and State's trying to pay for players, and they successfully did that this past season. Last season, Mississippi State allegedly spent somewhere in the region of $5 to $6 million on their roster. This season, it's around $16 million. And so things have gotten more expensive, and the fans want to be able to see some sort of winning product on the field. And so far, so good, at least in 2025.
Landon, is there one huge, very, very, very wealthy booster affiliated with Mississippi State?
Not the way other teams have. I can't think of anybody off the top. Well, there are several very wealthy families that have come together. In fact, State's raised $85 million in this past year and a half with the help of their athletic director, Zach Selman, doing a lot of really good fundraising. But there's this one, kind of think about the Yellowwood guy for Auburn and think of, the Waltons for Arkansas. Mississippi State does not have a particular person that they can kind of lean on to go to at the moment, but there are several very wealthy families that have contributed a lot, especially over the past year and a half.
Matt Dixon, jump in here because now we turn to what's going on the field with State and the fact that this represents an extremely interesting opportunity for Mississippi State, and it represents a little bit of a kind of a dangerous spot for the Vols. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, so much is going to be made about Heupel and Levy and their connections in both teams' offenses that like to get up and down the field, but. I was really surprised when I started looking at State how good their defensive numbers are. Granted, we know the competition they play, but they haven't exactly played 3 FCS teams. How much of what State's doing defensively do you think is kind of real and will translate to SEC play?
That's a great question. Yeah, so far, Mississippi State's defense has given up just a little under 12 points a game through 4 games. But as you mentioned, there's Arizona State in there. But then there's a Southern Miss, there's an FCS team, there's Northern Illinois. However, even early last season against FCS teams and lesser opponents, you could already see Mississippi State's defense really was having some issues with those teams. That does not seem to be as prevalent this season. And again, I'll go back kind of to the money part of it. They spent a lot of cash on the defensive line and defensive line depth. The amount of players they brought in is fairly staggering when it comes to the price tag on that. And so the interesting thing with this game will be, can Mississippi State's defensive line hold up Star Thomas and the rest of Tennessee's running game? Because in the second half against Arizona State did not have any success throwing the ball, but man, they ran the ball down Mississippi State's throat in the second half. And there's a goal line stand, and Mississippi State kind of held them to 3 points at the end, but Arizona State had no trouble rushing 96 yards all the way across the other side of the field. So it'll be interesting to see what that'll look like on Saturday.
Yeah, didn't if I'm not mistaken, didn't State have 2 guys go over 100 yards in that game?
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah, that's and look, Mississippi State made a winning play at the end of the game, which a lot of times is what these games are about, And it's we always talk about in SEC play how when you put competitive teams on the field, a lot of times it come down to 2 or 3 plays. Mississippi State won those plays that night, which I guess is a really good sign. Matt was talking about the defense. You talk about the defensive line. One thing I noticed here tonight with Northern Illinois is it seems to me that if Tennessee has success running the ball against them, they're going to be able to throw the ball, because I noticed that they were having trouble the other night letting some guys get behind them. Is that a fair read?
Yeah, it was. And Northern Illinois missed some of those shots, and you would probably suspect that Joey Aguilar and company would not miss, some of those opportunities. However, so far, the cornerback and kind of the secondary position for Mississippi State has been really good. They're the only team in the FBS that has 3 different players that are in the top 15 for best performing PFF grades. If some people make a lot about that, some people don't make a lot about that at all. But it seems like the cornerback positions have been fairly solid. But you're right. I mean, if it comes to a situation where Tennessee is able to run the ball really effectively, what will that look like for taking shots over the top? And I want to ask you guys what you think when it comes to the early parts of this game, because scoring quickly seems to be kind of at the top of the list for both of the teams. State enters Saturday having outscored their opponents 55-6 in the first quarter. In Tennessee, I think it's 83-7. So it seems like both of these teams will probably be taking shots early.
What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah, I think, I was watching a game last week. Who was it? Rutgers and Iowa, and I think each team scored on its first 3 possessions. I see a lot of scoring early, because Josh Heupel, we know, is very good at scripting plays, and he'll look at that Mississippi State defense and see what he can do. And I think Jeff Levy is really good at that too. So I think we could see more scores early than late.
Matt, is that where you are? Do you expect some fireworks early from both teams?
It's certainly possible. I've always kind of thought, though, that when you have 2 teams that are very similar offensively, that it kind of favors both defenses in these games, because they've seen those offenses so much that it tends to be a lower scoring game, at least to start. But it will be interesting to see, because both teams do like to jump on their opponents early. But I kind of think when you have this similar offenses, that the defenses benefit more than the offenses do in these types of matchups.
Isn't that an interesting point, guys? That offense is not going to be exotic to either one of these defenses. They see it every day in practice.
I know, but I bet they struggle against it every day in practice too.
You're right. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, one thing to remember is, will Tennessee get more healthier with defensive players that have missed the game, that have missed action so far, with, say, your Jackson Moyes and maybe, I don't know about McCoy when he's available, but the Vols have been sort of banged up. Is Mississippi State injury-wise, what's their injury situation, defensively, offensively?
The defensive side of the ball, their best defensive lineman, Will Whitson, who through 2 games had 5 tackles for loss. It's gone for the season on the defensive line. He's more of a guy that can kind of get through to put pressure on the quarterbacks, and not really more of your run stopper. That, and then they also lost their right guard for the season as well. But again, that's one of the reasons why State spent so much money on depth. There is a plethora of players. Now, what are the quality? Like, what will that look like? We'll see. But there's a lot more depth to back up those guys.
Yeah, that's the whole point. If you're going to win in this league and you want to win games like this and you're Mississippi State, you better be able to do it on the defensive line, because that's where these games come down to. Speaking of which, Tennessee expects to get Moy back this week. Josh Heupel would not say that yesterday at his press conference, but I was talking with somebody this morning with knowledge of it who said, yeah, he's going to be back, barring, one of these weird setbacks, which you never know what's going to happen. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, Landon, you're talking about depth. Mississippi State suffered some significant attrition, losing wide receivers after last year, really good receivers. How have they replenished the receiving core? How would you rate that?
So far, really good. Brennan Thompson's a guy who he played at Oklahoma and he played at Texas. Both places never really very, very typical of like very big name program, kind of hidden behind in the depth chart. He's been really good at Mississippi State thus far. 300 yards on the season. Anthony Evans III from Georgia is their leading receiver with 290 yards with 21 receptions, a few more than Brennan Thompson. They replaced those guys well because if you think about it, Mario Craver is leading the conference in receiving. He was at Mississippi State last year. Kevin Coleman, I believe, is third in receiving. He was at Mississippi State last year. Yeah. They had a lot to replace, as you said. But so far, it does not seem to be too much of a drop-off. We'll see what it looks like in the long term of the season. But both Thompson and Evans III are both in the top 10 in receiving yards for the conference.
You know, guys, we're getting to the point now in the schedule where we're about to have we're at the third poll, and we're about to get to the point where we know our teams. What do you know about Mississippi State right now? What are the real weaknesses of that football team? Because generally, when we talk about our teams, we talk about the weaknesses of the teams we're looking at. What are the weaknesses of that state team?
I would say thus far, the ability to find a way to get rid of penalties has been really bad. I mean, 14 penalties in the very first game, 11 penalties on Saturday, and State so far has had a different offensive line for all four of the games. They've not been able to find cohesion, and through that, there's been holding penalties, and false start, illegal formation penalties. That seems to be the thing that State has struggled with the most. And against a team like Tennessee, they are not going to be able to be afforded with coming back from that. You get behind early in a drive against Tennessee, it's going to be trouble because Heupel already kind of has an idea, as you guys mentioned, of what Levy probably is thinking, knowing that their offenses are so close to one another. But the kind of the pro for the team is explosive plays. 20 yards or more is kind of the staple for what Mississippi State's offense has been so far. They average about 4.5 explosive plays per game. And of the 18 explosive plays so far this season, 10 of them have been for touchdowns. So they're looking for the big play, even if they get behind in the drive early on.
So say that again. They average 4.5 explosive plays.
4.5 explosive plays per game. And explosive plays just means 20 yards or more. And of their 18 explosive plays they've had this season, 10 of them have been touchdowns. So they're looking for the really big kind of knockout punches.
And that's exactly what they did at the end of the Arizona State game. That's how they won the game.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous. Sean, when you play an opponent like that, and you have our secondary, and they hang around in a game, that's kind of a scary thing a little bit because they have the ability to get you.
Yeah, and they do, and it's not just in the throwing game. Those two running backs, they can make plays when they get in the secondary. They can make people miss. I was really impressed with those guys in the two games I've watched. And Booth had a good game against Tennessee last year, rushed for about 125. Fluff Bothwell, tough name to say, from South Alabama, the transfer. He looks like a playmaker, too. I like their running backs.
Hey, Matt, from your perspective, what are the similarities with Levy and Heupel, and what are the differences as you look at those two offenses when we get ready for this game?
Yeah, I just think they're extremely similar. They run a lot of the same stuff. Now, Tennessee's done some of the tighter splits and more this year, especially in that Georgia game. But it's a very similar offenses. Tennessee just probably has a little bit more installed and just more comfortable with what they've got at this point. But no, they're extremely similar. I'm sure each of them have little wrinkles here and there. I think State likes to throw over the middle a little bit more than Tennessee typically has. Some of that mesh stuff that Mike Leach, kind of basically created. But no, they're extremely similar. I mean, that's what that play that they beat Arizona State on, that switch release thing to get the guy wide open. I mean, that's how Tennessee beat Alabama with Jalen Hyatt, those switch release stuff. So it's a very similar offense. Neither defense is going to be surprised by what they see, I don't think.
But both defenses could get turned around because these defenses can, with that switch release stuff, if you're not really paying attention, you can get burned and it can happen quickly, which Landon was talking about, the explosiveness of that club. Tennessee has already made as many explosive plays as they did basically all last year. Heupel was asked about that the other day. I mean, Landon, how much of a concern is that, the way Aguilar throws that deep ball? likes to hang it up there, and these big receivers go up and get it. How big of a concern will that be from a state perspective that Tennessee's receivers might be able to out-physical their guys at the point of attack, take the ball away?
Yeah, that's going to be a big issue for Mississippi State. That's something that they have not seen so far in this season and really have not been challenged in that way. And, man, Joey Aguilar is going to kind of put them to the test probably pretty quickly, as we mentioned early in the game. The State's going to have to be ready for those things that are going over the top. But they've also not seen maybe a blend of being able to have a running attack that's very efficient and throwing. Arizona State, like I mentioned, really, really struggled throwing the ball. And credit some of that to Mississippi State's cornerbacks. We're doing a really good job on the secondary. But when Leavitt was forced to throw, it was bad news for him. But Arizona State ran the ball very well. So it'll be interesting to see what these will look like. And big plays for both teams are probably going to be expected. Both of them, Tennessee and Mississippi State, are tied for second in the SEC for the most plays over 50 yards, which both of them have 5 each.
Anybody else have anything for our great guest here, Landon Tucker, on the way out?
Yeah, Landon, were you covering the team when Mike Leach was there?
I was not. No, I was at several of his kind of things he did for, like, in the city of Starkville, where he would go and kind of speak in person and kind of have people come up to him and talk. Man, he was so one of a kind, and is just so greatly missed. As you guys know, listening to press conferences with Heupel and Levy are a little similar in that they're very coach speak,
I'm sorry to hear that.
kind of to the point, but you miss that ability to hear Levy, or pardon me, to hear Leach just go off on random rants.
What must Levy and Heupel thought of a guy like him that would just get up there and do the whole free mind, because neither of these guys will show you who they are at all in front of the press.
I think they really liked it. The opposites attract.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think they would have liked it because they're just the opposite. They wouldn't dare say anything, and boy, they're thinking, man, this is good stuff.
You know, in one of the long form articles I read about, and you probably have seen a ton of stuff, Landon, but after Leach's passing, one of those guys talked about how they had come back from lunch, and Leach took basically his whole lunch break and was on the phone with some stranger that accidentally called Mississippi State's office, and he was still sitting there talking to him an hour and a half later just about God knows what. And they said, that's Mike Leach. I mean, that's just kind of who the dude was.
I still think that's one of the greatest football stories of all time when he locked Craig, when he was at Texas Tech, and locked Craig James's son in the shed for his headaches.
Let's go. You got headaches?
Well,
Come on,
you got
to
put him in a dark room and
man.
give him some quietness.
Help you out here, son. Landon, tell the living listener where they can find you. I'm sure you're going to talk a lot about the Vols on your podcast coming up, and from the Mississippi State perspective. Tell them where they can find you, my brother.
Yeah, man, our show, My Dogs Pod, is on MPW Digital here in Mississippi. On Thursday, we'll have our matchups and picks show, and so we'll talk in depth about this Tennessee-Mississippi State matchup and kind of make our picks on the show. You can also follow us on Twitter, just at My Dogs Pod, and to be able to keep up with us and also keep up with some updates through Saturday's game I'll be covering.
Thank you, my brother. Hey, great talking to you, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining us, man. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks, guys. Be safe.
Thank you. Landon Tucker, one more time. I really enjoy him. You know, look, I think Tennessee will make enough big plays to get home in this game after they run the ball well, but it's going to be predicated on being able to run the ball in this game. Like a lot of these games, it comes down to, I mean, I'm no brain surgeon here, but you're playing on the road. Do we try to slow them down, Matt, earlier, or do we just go out there and go for the jugular since we're on the road? Because generally speaking, you'd want to take a crowd out of a game early. Heupel's just so, like, I don't know what the term is, Sean, but the way they approach road games, like, we're just going to come out and attack you.
Tony, I can't help when you said I'm no brain surgeon.
Yeah.
I imagine myself on an operating table.
With me looking over you.
Yeah, just getting ready to get an anesthetic.
You know what that's,
and there you are.
You know what that's called, John?
What?
Making peace with God. Because at that point, you are making penance for everything you've ever done, every lie you've ever told, every grudge you've ever held.
You couldn't be optimistic about how that surgery would end.
No, you're saying, God, I'll be in your hands here in a few hours.
Yeah, you'd probably be playing a mandolin while you're getting ready to cut.
It would not be
You'll
good.
be in God's presence in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
man.
gosh. So I think this is an interesting game, guys. At the beginning of the year, you looked at this game and you said, total blowout, hammer job, 2-10 team. They have no chance. I mean, I would say Mississippi State would have, I don't know if I was putting a percent chance on it, 20, 25 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, look
4.
at the line tells you everything you need to know. It opened at 10, and it's down to 7.5.
20, 25. Nega Dave has entered the chat, Matt. You'll be glad to know he's found us over on YouTube. Tony Basilio show on YouTube. We have several thousand subscribers now. It's growing each and every day. It's a great way to consume the show. You can go back at night and check it out. Also, we'll have special content like tonight. We're going to drop our conversation that we're having tonight. You'll see it there over on our YouTube channel. Here's the thing. Tonight, when the SEC reveals the schedule for real across the league, we'll be on here responding. Matt will be with me. C will be with me, that's our Thursday group now. Brian says he's going to hang out and sit this one out. Kyle Blackburn, a.k.a. the weekend of the Tony Basilio show. Matt, do you find that Kyle looks like the weekend? Do you agree with that?
Yes, the weekend does look like Kyle Blackburn.
Thank you. John says he might stop by. Eric Waddell might stop by. Cinco might stop by. Bino might stop by. Maybe we'll take a few calls. We'll have a little party.
That seems like too many people to me.
Bino's not stopping by, Tone. Come on.
Well, you might if you bring up Oak Ridge's 2026 schedule. We come back. John, when I reveal what I think the home schedule is, and when people see that, okay, are our fans going to gasp or are they going to love it, John? What do you think? Because I think every fan wants value out of a home schedule. I think most fans want to see my team play real teams, real games. Let's ratchet this thing up. Let's go for it. And Heupel's got the program in a really good spot right now.
I got an email today because I wrote a column about Tennessee's 3 permanent rivals.
Mm-hmm. Kentucky
and Vanderbilt kind of hit the lottery on that. And he said, I want to play Georgia. I want to play the best teams. And I think fans will look at it two ways.
Mm-hmm.
They will see that home schedule and they'll say, man, there are going to be some good games. These are games I want to see. And then I think their second reaction will be, man, that's going to be a tough schedule. And Tennessee fans have really gotten spoiled by this interim schedule. It's just so favorable. And it's going to be so much harder next year and the year after and forevermore, really.
Well, Dixon said it best, when Chris Lowe's reporting came out across the league, they were like, well, they really did the Vols a favor. You wait till you see the favor they did the Vols when you see the schedule next year. Because Matt said there is no favors in this league. There are no favors in this league.
Well,
that is true.
But you'd still, if you could pick your partner,
I take that schedule.
Yeah, you've got Vanderbilt and Kentucky every year, and Vanderbilt's kind of on an upswing.
Yep.
Kentucky's trending downward,
yes.
But just look at history. However, one thing to remember, because these other 6 teams are going to be rotating in and out.
Yeah.
So when your teams that rotate in, there's not going to be easy wins there. I guess you would say, Mississippi State and Arkansas, those would be. But Tennessee got probably the 4 best games, and I'm not slighting Mississippi State because it's much better.
Oh, no, John, you're right.
But I mean, it's still, you got to look at comparatively speaking. Yeah, I mean, Arkansas hung in there with Ole Miss, easily could have won the game. Then blew a game against Memphis.
Yeah.
But it's not like those games are cakewalks.
I tell you what I want to do, Matt, on Thursday's show. I want you guys to think about this. I want to rank the teams in this league right now. We're 4 games in. Everybody's kind of played a league game, pretty much. You got a sense of who people are. We saw Texas play a real game up there at Ohio State, albeit that's a high level football game. But again, kind of see where they are, and try to put on paper where these teams are. Like, where would we put Tennessee? And just kind of, obviously all that's subjective. It's kind of like doing the quarterback thing, right? But if you're going to rank the teams in this league, because I think what we would find is what we thought was the bottom of the league before the year is not the bottom of the league. But here's the problem. People want to dance on the grave of Florida. Hey, listen, if Florida stays offensively engaged, or now that kid's in a walking boot, if they put that freshman quarterback out there, their other hotshot freshman quarterback they have, not Bailey, but the other kid, if they put him out there and they ascend like they did last year, we could be in the soup against them, because defensively they're very good. I know what I saw against Miami. That defense has not unplugged, not yet. Now they might by the time we get there, but I know people are dancing on Florida's grave. I am not one of them. Tonight, though, we're going to see a fresh coat of paint that's been placed on the SEC. We're going to get some calls in on the other side. I want to share with you what I think is the schedule, kind of home and away, and then we'll talk about it. And you tell me what you think, okay? When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk. Our friends at Walker's Painting got you, whether it's interior or exterior. Since 1999, all across the Knoxville area, new construction, repaints, commercial, residential, they got you. You want it, they can do it. Free estimates are available. You tell Walker's Painting you heard about it on the Basilio show. 10% off your first job. Let's go. You're gonna run. You're not gonna walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. 865-688-1410. Check out the ad over on the blog today where we have a few thousand words for you. Matt's got a great gamer on the UAB game and some other stuff. We've got some stuff on the schedule. I give you 7 of what I believe the 9 league games are if you want to pop over there right now. I'm going to give you the other 2, though, as we go. It is your Tony Basilio show on a Tuesday. John Adams in the house after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like alumni ball. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place that's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
The great John Adams was just shouting out my boy Josh Collins. Let me tell you something. That's as fine a human being as ever lived. It's unbelievable. The Collins family, it's unbelievable. We played their families, their parents' anniversary party a few years back. And, you know, when you're in a room full of people and you go, you know, I like these people. That was kind of me that night. You know, and sometimes you're in a room full of people and it's a family deal and you're like, tell you one thing, I'm glad that ain't my family. I mean, we've all done that, right? The Collins family, I would take y'all. Josh Collins is, and Austin, those are some good people now.
His wife works at my dental office.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You're back to me operating on you again. Okay.
God, can you imagine going sitting in that dental chair and here comes Tony with that drill in his hand? Oh my God. I would just stab myself to death right there.
Like Mayor Kane, Matt, his first, do you remember what Mayor Kane, Matt's first character was in WWE?
Isaac Yankem.
He had a dental smock on, and he had that toothy smile that Glenn Jacobs has, and they turned him into Isaac Yankem. And you would sit in his dental chair, and he'd rip your teeth out of your mouth without Novocaine and a butter knife. So stupid. All right, do we want to do a little reveal here, Matt, or no? Or can I ask you guys a question before we do that? And then we'll go to the phones. This narrative about Heupel, how he has a stinker on the road every year. Who doesn't have a stinker on the road in this league besides Kirby Smart every year? Is that a fair thing to say?
Adam Sparks says no. He's done some research. Is that story run yet? If we put that up yet?
All right, hit it.
Well, I don't want to give the story away, but
what is the crux?
Basically, the synopsis of it is Adams is very good at doing his research.
I love Adam,
and he's discovered that Josh Heupel has some problems on the road, but everybody in the SEC has problems on the road.
Thank you.
And so you just, I really think we wouldn't even be talking about it so much if not for the South Carolina game in 2022, because that Tennessee team was still in the running for the playoff. South Carolina was awful, and it didn't just win the game. It won by, 25 points?
To the phones we go, 865-200-5402. Matt, you don't subscribe to that, do you? The Heupel has a stinker game? Because everybody in this league loses on the road.
He does, but so does everybody else. Yeah.
But it's something you write about and talk about.
On the road.
Yeah, but it's easy to write about and talk about because it's true.
But it's not. But it's out of context.
Well,
everybody struggles on the road in this league. Everybody struggles on the road in this league.
Still get a pretty good column out of it.
Oh, I understand. And why mess with a narrative?
Yeah, well, I mean, go back to the Missouri. I mean, Missouri was a good team a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Cody Schrader looked like a combination of Herschel Walker and Jim Brown. I mean,
to our phones we go. I believe Tennessee's home schedule in 2026 is going to consist of the following teams. This is what I believe. Now, as I said today on the blog, grade me. I didn't do home and away, by the way, on the blog today. But this is what I believe the home schedule is next year. And tonight, you can go ahead and grade our work. I'm not saying this is the home schedule. I'm saying this is what I believe. Just like last week, what I said on here, what I believe the 3 permanent opponents were going to be. Vanderbilt, Alabama, Kentucky. If you'll remember,
you were right.
The reporting out of Lexington from Matt Jones and those people was that Kentucky was not going to get the Vols. I think that's probably right. I think what happens, John, behind the scenes is they preliminarily will go to these league teams and say, okay, this is what you have, and then they fight like hell about it. And if we don't think that's going on, I think we're naive. Can you imagine the amount of back and forth that goes on among these ADs, these presidents? There's a lot of money at stake. There's a lot of everything at stake. Can you imagine the amount of backbiting that goes on and politicking that goes on behind the scenes?
Sure, and a lot of it is really, when it comes down to it, it's wasted energy. Because in a 9-game SEC schedule, with opponents rotating in year and out, you're not going to have an easy schedule. Those days, you just can't do it like you did with the interim schedule. And Tennessee, Missouri got pretty lucky. Texas was kind of fortunate. Oklahoma and Florida just got abused. You're not going to have the same disparity anymore.
That's right. That 9th game, like Matt said, you don't think – Matt, the interesting thing about that 9th game is you don't think it's that big a deal, but it's actually a huge deal. Because really, everybody's going to have a difficult schedule now. Everybody.
Well, what you're doing is you're replacing ETSU or a UAB.
That's right.
With maybe an LSU or a Texas.
You're already done the junk portion of the schedule if this is next year. You're already done with it.
Yeah.
You're done with it.
Yeah.
And now it's time to play real. And I'll tell you what I'd like to see this league do is get all those games out of the way in September and do like the Big Ten does and go play everybody. And I'm not saying model yourself after the Big Ten. The SEC is far superior to the Big Ten. Far superior. But the one thing they do is they build momentum in November with their schedule. And look, like any good story, you got a beginning, you got a midpoint, and you got, what do they call the end, the climax? Why are you not playing? Why are in the penultimate week of the season?
It's an awful
Saturday.
Do that?
Why do we do that?
Because
and the networks let this league get away with it. They pay billions of dollars for that. It's repulsive.
It's the coaches. The coaches in this league have so much sway. They just
well,
they don't want to play a meaningful game before a rivalry.
Does Heupel like making $10 million? Well, then play a real game. Your second to last game, you shouldn't be playing a directional school.
In truth, Tony, if this were real, notice how college football keeps going more like the NFL in so many ways, paying players and all that kind of stuff. Well, you would have a real schedule. There wouldn't be a UAB.
Well, that's true.
Ever. You would play 12 meaningful games. The NFL doesn't start playing Canadian League teams in September or the penultimate week of the season.
That is what those games feel like. Like you're playing somebody from another planet. All right, let's do this. Hey, Matt, if in fact, go ahead, Brian.
When you think about it, the ACC just went to 9 league games.
Yeah.
They're going to go to 9, and they're going to require their teams to play another Power 4 team. The Big 12 does that. The SEC does that. The Big 10 doesn't, but they play 9 league games. That's sort of the gap between the Group of Fives and the Power 4s is going to grow even wider because you're not going to have as many of those matchups to play now. You won't have to schedule teams from that level as much.
I love the fact that next year, on top of this daunting, brutal schedule the Vols are going to have, they've got to go to Georgia Tech. And, Matt, I love the fact that Ryan Alpert is doing a Danny White tactic with that fan base. If you want to keep the game in Dodd Stadium and get these guys in our friendly confines, you're going to pay double for the ticket prices. That's what he basically has told them. And if you want us to put it in the Georgia Dome, we'll just price it like a normal home game. We'll let the Tennessee fans come in and buy their way into the deal. How much of a great Danny White tactic, Matt, is that? This Ryan Alpert guy, man, that apple, or should I say that dollar, did not fall far from that tree.
It's a Dollar Tree.
And not Dollar Tree with college football. No, it's right up what Danny White would do, and I guess it's what just modern ADs would do.
Sure, all these guys are.
That's what Danny White's got to do.
Yep.
I mean, he makes a lot of decisions that upset fans.
Yep, but he doesn't care.
And he prices fans out, and then but he's kind of at the forward edge of this, which I guess ultimately is probably a good thing, but it does hurt that you keep bleeding your fans.
Danny don't care. That's my bumper sticker. Danny don't care. Let me say this. Tennessee's home schedule, I believe, next year. John, you tell me, and Matt and Bri, you guys tell me if you can ever remember a harder home schedule, if this is what it is. And then we'll go to the phones. Ready? Here we go.
Wait a minute. Before you do it.
Yeah.
If I were going to bet on how accurate your projections are, your schedule, if it's the real schedule, if I could bet on it, how much would you tell me to bet?
Matt, do you believe this is accurate? Matt's seen it.
Yeah, I think it is.
The home schedule next year, we believe, is, drum roll, please, Alabama, the Wildcats of Kentucky, the Tigers of Auburn, the Longhorns of Texas, and then one other game. The one other game is either going to be one of the schools from Columbia. The away schedule will include, well, let's just park there. If you play Alabama, Kentucky, Auburn, and Texas, and one of those schools from Columbia, either Missouri or South Carolina, John, I want you guys to think about this now. I think that's the hardest home schedule we've ever seen here. That is a brutally hard schedule.
Well, I'd have to go back and look at some of these schedules, like I remember when Notre Dame played here, and Tennessee was still playing Auburn, and they had some tough schedules in the early 90s.
No doubt.
When Majors was here.
We'll have to look at it.
But look at it, if you look at it from this perspective, the last 2 years, yeah, that's pretty much an upgrade.
And Matt, my favorite thing about that schedule is Texas in this building and Alabama in this building in the same year. And when I first saw this, I thought to myself, if that comes to fruition, Danny White could get you pay what you're going to pay, plus I want a piece of one of your digits. And people would mail in like half a finger. with their I mean let's think about this.
They find one of those fake fingers somewhere.
Texas,
that you can get for Halloween.
Texas, Alabama, and Auburn in your building in the same schedule, Matt, in the same year.
I don't think they've ever had Alabama and Auburn both on the home schedule in one season.
And I rest my case. And then you got the Texas Longhorns. Now, let me give you a little secret. I also believe the Vols are going to make a trip to A&M next year. And I think LSU's on that schedule as well. Now, you tell me the reality of this. Because I'm going to tell you, that's the hardest schedule we've ever seen here. Matt, in your lifetime, do you agree with that? And then we'll go to the phones.
I mean, it certainly will rival it. I mean, if you discount the COVID year, we can just kind of throw that one out. There was a couple of those schedules in the early 2010s where your rotating West opponent was having a peak year like 4 years in a row.
Yes.
And that was back when Florida was a top 10 program. Alabama was at the top of the sport. And then you had like LSU, Arkansas, Mississippi State in a 3-year span, and they were all a top 10 team when you played them. You've had some difficult schedules. It'll rival those for sure.
You know what I think's interesting, guys, is we don't know who any of these teams are going to have next year. Like, they're just names on a paper. which is really but the brand names. I love the brand names. I mean, who knows, right?
Well, you look at it, and what you think about is NIL. Texas will not come up short of money, and
Yes.
Texas A&M won't come up short of money.
Yes.
And LSU won't come up short of money.
Yes.
Those are three schools, and I don't think Auburn will either.
No, Auburn. I'm going to tell you something. Auburn got flat ripped off. They got robbed. That Oklahoma game, that's a disgrace.
I think what happened, the SEC felt guilty about the schedule it gave Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And said, let's give them a little help.
Hey, when are we going to
Look
listen?
at Auburn's schedule. Auburn's schedule is not very easy either.
That's exactly right,
They play at Oklahoma to start. Then this week they play at Texas A&M, who's coming off a bye. And then Auburn gets a bye, and they get to host Georgia.
What?
I mean, that's brutal, man.
I don't think Greg Sankey cares about Hugh Freeze very much.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You are on our Tuesday edition. We open up the TLD Logistics Hotlines. Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hey, welcome in.
Thanks, man. John, Brian, Dixie. So glad to hear you guys today. Y'all are crushing it. I think you're right on the schedule. Want to talk about the crowds and what these cupcake games do and what would be a better solution maybe. But the stinker thing, it's funny you guys talked about that today because I haven't heard it talked about much. And me and Jordan Moore were talking about it yesterday, actually, about the stinker narrative because he brought it up. And I was like, are we sure there is? Because going back and thinking about it, South Carolina game was a stinker. We were 1,000 times better than that team, and we blew it. But the next year, we lost at Florida and at Missouri, and everybody says those are stinkers. I don't think we were much better than either of those teams. I think Missouri was actually better than us that year when Milton was our starting quarterback. And at Florida, Milton was really bad. Those weren't stinker games. Those are just road games against teams you're comfortable with, and you probably lose those most of the time. But the narrative is, we stunk it up against them.
Yeah, I think the Missouri game, it wasn't that Missouri was a bad team. It was just that it beat Tennessee so handily. The game was such a runaway. I think that's why it was a stinker. It wasn't any
Right.
There wasn't any shame in losing to that Missouri team, though.
I mean, Tennessee's going in to go up, like 5 or 6 at the half, and Jalen Wright fumbles after he catches a pass running towards the goal line. And then Milton throws a pick six late that made the score much worse. I mean, there's a couple things in that ballgame that made it look worse, but it still was you lost to probably a team as good or better than you on the road. I mean, that's not a big deal. And Arkansas last year, Nico missed like 3 wide open touchdowns in the first half. I mean, it is what it is. That's not necessarily a stinker. That's just you had bad quarterback play.
That's a stinker.
You had a quarterback who you pretty much – it wasn't like it was an aberration the way he played. It was who he was all year is the way he played in that one. I don't know. I feel like South Carolina is the only time you were far superior to your opponent and you didn't show up. Thoughts?
Well, I didn't think that Florida team was very good.
No. They weren't. But, at the end of the day, this is a game of history. The players change. Even in the NIL era, college football remains a game of history, which is very, very, very unique to it. And I don't know if I can explain that, but, Matt said it best. Joey football is going to be, we're going to see what you have here. This is very testing. I'm going to take you into these environments now, and let's see if it translates. And who knows? He might have a stinker Saturday.
But here's the thing.
Who knows?
Here's the thing I look at with him.
Yeah.
And why I don't think he'll have a stinker.
Yeah.
All along, all the way back to high school, when he went to junior college, when he went to the Sun Belt, all these places, he's getting, I don't think he's good enough for this. I don't think he's good enough for that. No, he's probably over his skis here. And every time he says, no, he's better than that. You said about Nico, that's who he was. Well, I think that's who Joey Aguilar is. I think he's a big-time college quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the point. and Florida that year wasn't a very good team.
No,
but I don't think we were either. we ended up 8-4, and I think we were lucky to get there. We were lucky to beat that A&M team at home. Like, we had a punt return and a couple other weird things, but A&M was probably better than us that day, and we found a way to have more points than they did at the end.
Because they're A&M, Rusty.
Because they're A&M. Yeah, there you go.
It's bizarre.
But that Joe Milton quarterback team, I think we were lucky to be 8-4. I think we were more likely a 6-6, 7-5 football team that found a way to get to 8 wins. So I don't think we were very good, is what I was saying. While Florida wasn't either, and that's okay. So anyway, the schedule thing. I think you're dead on with where we're headed in the future. You've nailed it. Playing UAB and ETSU and going to 9 games and all that, and we all know that those games like this past Saturday are boring. They're not real games. They're scrimmages. Why don't the commissioner's office, and I want to get your guys just what you think about this idea. Let's just say from now on, the commissioner would come out, or not let's say it. Let's have the commissioner come out and say, we're not going to start SEC play until after everybody plays their 3 non-conference games. You can play ETSU week 1, UAB week 2, and then you can play your Power 4 opponent week 3, and then we'll start conference play. And treat those first 3 weeks like it's a preseason.
Which is
that's
what they
what
are.
those games really are.
I know, but the problem with that is
the first 3 weeks are boring,
football-
but the NFL has a preseason too.
Yeah.
At least we're not putting Alabama playing New Mexico
He's
State
right,
the
John.
week before they play Auburn.
That's what the
I
Big
hate
Ten
that.
does.
Well,
It's
no,
what the
I
Big-
don't.
it's
I
the only
don't
thing
like
the Big
that.
Ten does. It makes sense.
But I don't like this either. College football is so important in the Southeast, and it's like you wait forever for college football season to start.
Right.
I want to see meaningful games right away.
But John, you play the Georgia Tech game this next season, week 2. That's a meaningful game. You get one warm up before that game, then you figure out who you are after that game.
Yeah, that's
you get
better.
another warm up.
Yeah,
after
that's
that.
better than what we have now.
And
Yeah,
then
I
to
agree.
his point, you're in league play, Matt. That's exactly what the league ought to do.
But
Look,
you know what? You have that Louisville, Kentucky game and the Florida State game have always been at the end of the schedule.
I don't
So
give a damn. I'm
you have
so
to do
tired.
something-
Move them to the
you have to do
beginning.
something
Move them
about
to week
that.
3.
Put him in week 3.
Move them to week 3.
He's exactly right.
Move them to week 3.
Make it rivalry week.
Yeah, Washington and
Move those
Washington
to week
State
3.
played last week.
That's exactly
Oregon
right.
and Oregon State
did
played.
it because in
Yeah.
the Big Ten, that's what they're doing. They tell their members, we are going to build drama. We're going to build interest with what we're doing. And you know what? It's the proper thing to do. Matt, where do you come down on that?
I really don't have much of an opinion on it. You'd like to get those games out of the way, but I do think they kind of do serve a purpose there late in the year. It gives you a chance to reset.
That's the point.
Let you
Sa-
play those
saving
younger
love
guys
that-
that maybe you hadn't developed early in the year. There's some benefits to it, but I just don't really have a huge opinion either way.
What? Now that you
That's the
bring
point.
up the Big Ten schedule, a game I think an underappreciated game coming up this week. A game I'll record this game. I guess it's on TV. Northwestern and UCLA.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
I think UCLA has a great shot at going 0-12.
Well, if they lose that game, they've got a great shot at going on 12 because that Northwestern quarterback, he's another one of these turnover guys. I mean, there's some guys out there that are stealing money. He's one of them.
If Northwestern can run block, they'll be in pretty good shape.
There you go.
You know what that game should be, guys? That game should be a battle for relegation.
That's a great line, man.
I think they should play it on a Wednesday night.
Well, what Dixie said is right. It has served a purpose because Saban decided a long time ago, I want to put one of my cupcakes in week 13 before I play the Iron Bowl. So I can basically have a rest week before Auburn.
Yeah, but let's not let these the coaches shouldn't control
I hate it.
schedule.
I hate it. I hate us having a cupcake game in November mixed in this year. I think it's chicken scratch.
I think if the coaches had their say so in the SEC, they would play 5 league games.
Oh, there's no doubt
Yeah.
about that. Of course they
No
would.
doubt.
But they're not in charge. And Rusty, thank you for the call. We'll go back to our phones at 865-200-5402.
I found a 2004, the home schedule, and I think this is the only time where Alabama and Auburn have both played in Neyland Stadium in the same season in the modern era.
Yep.
But you had Alabama, Auburn, Notre Dame, and Florida on their home schedule.
I'm going to shout out Rusty Shackelford said it feels like our 2004 schedule. Here again is what we believe will be the schedule tonight when you see it, and let's see if it turns out to be accurate. And again, these games are teams on a paper in this day and age because truly you don't know who's going to jump in the portal after the season. You don't know if Alabama's coach is going to be there next year. You don't know if, like Lane Kiffin, they show up on the schedule in like another year or so. You don't know if he's going to be there. You don't know if he's going to be. Maybe he's at Florida next year. I mean, who knows? You don't know if he. I mean, the whole thing of the transient nature of this deal. You don't know if Ravano Freeze makes it out. You know, who knows?
But you know who has money and who'll spend it.
That's correct. Well, you heard a guest earlier tell us that Mississippi State upped their expenditure by 3 times. They're spending $15 million a year, he said, which is a pretty good expenditure.
Particularly, for Starkville, Mississippi State. Yeah.
The game's not even sold out this weekend, John. I mean, let's say $15 million. Do you have that kind of money?
But here's the thing. Every SEC school has some very affluent boosters.
Oh, yeah.
And how many of them really committed to it? If you got, Tennessee and LSU, Texas. Gosh, did you watch any of Texas Tech last week?
You're right about them. That's disgusting how much money they've spent.
They spent it in their defensive front,
they wore that Utah team.
God.
I mean, and I thought that, after the game, Winningham came out, and I like him. Winningham comes out after that game, and he says, listen, they destroyed us at the line of scrimmage. He said, and there are no excuses for us. He did not say they destroyed us at the line of scrimmage and they spent more money than us. He did not go the route of the guy from Oklahoma State. He said they destroyed us at the line of scrimmage, and that doesn't happen to my teams very much. He said they beat us up. They bullied us at the line of scrimmage. Back to the phones we go.
That doesn't happen on their home field very often.
Negative. I was thinking about you when I was watching that game. I'm like, John was right. It looks like they got Fletcher Cox out there and that Davis kid from the Eagles. They can't run it all inside.
Could you believe Jordan Davis run?
How fast was that?
That's the scariest thing I've ever seen on a football field. He's 6'6". They list him at 335 now, but he was 350 at Georgia.
The great Tennessee Lee told me that was one of his biggest plays of the NFL weekend. He said he can't pick a family member out right now in the NFL from his NFL games. He said, I had the game totally won. I'm up 26-7, middle of the third quarter. And here goes Jordan Davis with a block kick running the other way.
How athletic is all that? Oh, my He jumps up and blocks the kick, then goes and gets the ball, and then runs 60 yards for a touchdown. He's 6'6", 330. I bet he weighs 350.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, those Georgia guys just know how to win, man. They just know how to win.
That's a good point.
Jake from Memphis, good to talk to you again, Tony.
Hey, Jakey, welcome in.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I might be in the minority, but I don't mind the occasional cupcake game. I get too invested in these games and so stressed out that it's really good to have a week just to sit back and relax and have other people stress out. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And I can appreciate. Yes, last week was pretty boring, but I can appreciate that when, I went to school when it took overtime to beat UAB, and I went from being happy that we won to embarrassed that we're carrying our wide receiver off the field afterwards. So, last week I could be appreciative of what happened for sure.
Why not just have an open date then? Why reduce the schedule to 11 games instead of 12?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the deal. When you were in school, the UAB and the UAB now are two different things. Like we had Mark Ingram on here last week. He said that we have 47 new players. He said the guys we identified that could play all got picked off our team by SEC and ACC schools. He said you can go look at it. They just came in and picked our roster apart like we were a carcass laying on the side of the road.
Yeah, I remember a UAB team that Watson Brown had came in here and played Tennessee. It might have been the opener. It was an early season game and played Tennessee really tough. What's happened in this portal NIL era, you've got the lower echelon teams, the UABs of the world, they can't even – there's greater disparity than ever.
It's sad.
And so when you watch a game like that, it's like you get really misled.
Yeah,
You see somebody making a play in that game, say, oh, he may be somebody. No, he's not. He's just playing against guys who can't play.
Wow.
Tony, I think we have enough of a sample size right now. I mean, we're 4 games in. It is very clear that this offense is completely different, not just from last year or 2 years ago. It's different in a lot of ways from 2022. And I'm just curious on your guys' thoughts, and maybe it's best to kind of break it down like this. If you had to put a percentage on, I mean, it's hard to say that it's a coincidence that, Seth Luttrell came in and it's just vastly different. What percentage, if you broke it down by Heupel, Aguilar, Luttrell, as far as the origins of why this looks so different this year?
Jake, thank you. I think that's a great hearing from you, man. Let's do that on the other side. I just noticed I'm way over time. Man, Laura leaves, and I just go all to hell. It's kind of how it works after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline, online at tldlogistics.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Fall officially begins this month, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club teams start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Tony B here with the great Sakai Ziegler for
Hey,
Advent.
whoa. Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's Easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you. More fun than a human being should be allowed to have. I think Sugar Knot speaks for all of us, Matt, when he says the following, and I want your thoughts on this over on our YouTube channel. Yeah. Fire the AD that put that schedule together, Matt. Fire the AD that put that schedule together.
Like the AD went around and called schools, hey, you want to play us?
Yeah.
How about...
Yes! Let's go back to the phones. Tonight I'll be on the air. We will have a special where news breaks out. We break in over at tclub.team and on our socials. As one guy in town says, we're on social media.
What?
Huh?
What was
that? John Adams presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com.
What did you say?
We're on social media. Shout out to the clone. Let's go to the phones at 865-200-5402. Brian, I've just been told that the great R.J. Choppy, who does Dallas Morning Radio, I guess he's like a graduate of the Basilio School of Broadcasting. I don't know if he'd claim that, but he kind of back in the day, he was sort of in our nest, if you will. He's coming up for the Arkansas game, bringing his familia. He's going to be with us out there.
Arkansas game. They don't play Arkansas. They play. Oh, yeah, they do play them. Yeah, that's right.
Don't do that to me, Brian. What are you doing?
Excuse me.
Brian, you never do that. I love it. Brian made like a real mistake. That's kind of fun, Brian, for you.
Is he flying up with Jerry Jones on the Jerry Jones jet?
Well, he's the guy. He's the guy that Jerry Jones tried to get fired a couple years ago. Because he comes on RJ's morning show every day. He's a living Vol fan. He's on down there in Dallas Fort Worth. He's great at what he does. He and Shan do the show, have forever in the morning. He's gonna be on with us. He loves the Vols. He's gonna be with us. We're gonna break it down scientifically. That Arkansas week, and then the Oklahoma week when Dub Smith is out there following us. For the Arkansas game, we're doing Volapalooza. From 11 to 1, we do the show. Then from 1 to 3, the Fountain City Ramblers play. Then from 3 to 6, Dubsy does his deal. Then at 6 o'clock, they've got another band that comes in there, and we're going to entertain you like never before. Now, into our repertoire, we're going to get Fight Vols Fight back in the repertoire. We're going to play Rocky Top, and we're also going to play Down the Field, presented in a rock band, string band format.
When is this?
That's the Oklahoma weekend. Let's go to the phones.
What day are you going to do that?
The Friday before the game.
So you'll start at you'll do
11 till
at Calhoun's on the river.
Mm-hmm.
And then what
happens? And then the band
next?
plays live. And
your band plays at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and they're going to play us in and out of breaks too. They're going to be up there playing us in and out of breaks. It's going to be totally illiterate. Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402.
How's your band doing?
I don't know. We're fractured and splintered. We're having internal fighting. I don't know.
Really?
No. Let's go to the phones. We love each other. TLD Logistics phone lines. It's one of my favorite things about playing music with them is there's no egos involved. We just kind of all love each other. Really, I'm serious.
I've never heard of that with a band.
I
thought
know.
There were always all egos and all want to be the rock
I'll
star.
say this. I got really tired of Lance during our last world tour. He was getting on my nerves. We were in Prague, and we had a real blow-up during a sound check. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Hey, Tony, how about them Eagles, man?
How about our Eagles, brother?
Well, I tell you, man, I'm a Ravens guy, and, back in 22, they jumped us in the draft to take Jordan Davis.
Yep.
Baby Rhino with the still go block, scoop, and score. Not all Bulldogs are bad, huh?
Oh, if it wasn't for the fact that Howie Roseman decided he was going to start drafting SEC players, the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl last year. He quit trying to reinvent the wheel and went for the best SEC player available in those drafts, except for that cornerback that they got from the MAC, who Nick Saban said one of his first utterances during the draft was, we tried really hard to get that kid off that team in free agency, and he stayed there. That Quinyon Mitchell's a great player.
Yeah, he's good. Hey, speaking of secondary, Ravens in that draft, we got Kyle Hamilton. So that's nothing to shake a stick at. That's a good consolation prize.
I'll tell you one thing. That was a high-level NFL football game last night, my friend. A high-level game.
We got to start taking stuff serious over there in Baltimore, man.
Al, that was a high-level game.
Hey, I got a question for you before I get to all my stuff. What time? I know they talk about this Bama game. It says time to be determined. But I was wondering if you know what time you think that game's going to happen, because I'm trying to make it to the Glorilla concert at 7 over at Food City Center, and I'm just wondering if I'm going to have time to do both.
Hey, Matt, project for him. What time does the Bama game start?
I would just kind of initially guess 3:30. But
Yeah, I would guess that
ABC
too.
will probably have that one.
Yes, I think that's a 3:30 game. I agree.
All right, maybe I can get both of them, man. Hey, man, UAB, they was overmatched. You got Trent Dilfer out here taking pictures of Neyland. I mean, I ain't seen a beat down that bad in Knoxville since my rec softball team got beat 32-4 by the Knoxville Cyclones. You know.
John, did you shout out to the Knoxville Cyclones? John, did you see when Trent Dilfer put his camera up and either took a selfie or took a video of the I don't know that I've ever seen that before a kickoff. He did do that. He pulled his camera out and did something with his camera.
I'm sure that's happened before.
What about a opposing team?
I bet they've taken pictures with scoreboards if they get the lead real quick early in the game.
What about an opposing team trampling on a field goal kicker who missed a game the previous week, trying to maim him? Have you ever seen that?
No, did you see that high school video where this guy body slammed a kid on the ground?
What do you mean?
Last week, it was
like a guy come out of the stands?
No, it was another player. It looked like he was in pro wrestling, and he could have. I mean, it was assault. Just saying.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like some old school hockey there.
Well, it wasn't. I mean, if that was your kid out there,
I don't think I'd like that too much.
You'd have come out of the stands with your mandolin and hit him.
What was the score in that Cyclones game?
I think it's 32-4, man.
32-4. That's you built character that day, Brian. When you wear one like that.
I know, man. Hey, Tennessee's good, but I see Turkey Neck Heupel kind of squeezing that late TD after giving up the backdoor cover. But I knew better on that one. I wouldn't want to take the Vols 38-5. That's too many. But man, these spreads are coming into effect, man, late in these games.
Well, then that is a thing, Matt. The next time we play a bye game, you have to really wonder if at that point your quarterback is still Merck. You got to really pause before you try to play Tennessee to cover a point spread. Because what I saw, John, he's not going to make passes against air, is he?
No, and I was telling somebody to bet the Vols and give 39 points because Hype will keep running his offense.
He easily would have covered. If he would have
He actually looked good against ETSU.
Did he, Bry? I'll take your word for it.
Looked better than he did yesterday.
I'll take your word for it, Bry. I'll take your word for it.
Very indecisive.
He's a ball holder. He's a ball holder.
Hey, Tony, you ever been to Mississippi State?
No, I have not. No, Stark Vegas.
Hey,
I've been there a lot.
I've been there. Why are they always burning stuff on the side of the road? I remember that from my college track days. They're always burning something on the side of the road down there.
Well, they're just, clearing out some dead wood.
Yeah, they like lighting things on fire.
They're environmentalists down there.
I'm reading a story right now about New York in '77 after the blackout, and there were portions of the city they just burned to the ground for no reason. The people lived in their own neighborhoods. I guess it's a good idea to go out there and
hey, let's burn our house down.
Yeah, let's burn my house down.
Slow day. Let's burn the house down.
Yep.
All right. Hey, and I was watching the late games, and I saw Vandy put up 70 on the Panthers from Georgia State. And the Thanksgiving weekend's looking pretty good. I went ahead and bought me about 12 single game tickets, and I just need everybody from Nashville and also keep buying them things up so I can make a little money when I flip them on stuff out here in a couple weeks.
Thank you, my brother. Good talking to you.
Boy, that's an entrepreneur there.
I love it.
Reading the room.
Matt Dixon, yes or no? Vanderbilt's better than they've been, and they're borderline for real. Yes or no?
Yeah, they're pretty solid this year.
I've been reminded by one of our resident historians that Tennessee's 1980 schedule had Georgia, USC. Was that the Herschel Walker year?
What year?
80.
Yeah, that's Herschel Walker year.
USC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alabama and Pitt. That pretty good.
And Pitt was pretty good, dude.
That pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when Johnny left a lot of talent. That was Dan Marino. Yeah. 1980.
80,
well, USC was definitely one of the top.
Dan Marino was a freshman.
Well, back then you could have you only played 3 conference games at home, so you had to go out and get at least 5 other non-SEC games. So you ended up and you didn't have a group of 5 teams that had been called up to choose from. So you had to go out and get power teams to come in and fill out the schedule.
Well, I remember some of those Alabama teams under Bear Bryant.
Yep.
It seems like they played just like 6 SEC games.
They did.
And can you imagine Bear Bryant? You think he didn't have some control over that schedule?
Come on.
There was
the
only
AD.
10 teams in the league at that time, though. So you still played over half the league.
Also, during Bear Bryant's era, I mean, they would go to USC. They would go like they had a great series. Like when I was a kid with the Penn State team, they had a classic series with them. So he made an attempt to play people. We'll go to the phones. It was Georgia. It was Georgia that wouldn't play anybody in the scheduling, as Brother Bino has taught me down through time and Memorial. Let me do this. Brief timeout. God, man, I'm way off my schedule here, y'all. I'm sorry.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge?